Resident Evil 4 Remake released on March 24th, 2023 to overwhelming positivity, revamped and reimagined characters and enemies, more in-depth lore, iconic locations and addictive gameplay. But something was missing. We went through Leon's journey with Ashley, yet there was someone else. Another experience, or perhaps another order. On September 21st, we will get to experience the return of Separate Ways as we follow the iconic spy Ada Wong going through her version of events in Resident Evil 4 Remake. The gameplay of Separate Ways is mostly the same as the main campaign. However, Ada comes with her own super spy arsenal to her disposal. We get the return of Ada's iconic weapons, the TMP, which is very effective against splithead plagas. Don't have a flashbang to kill them instantly? Pull out the TMP and watch that bad boy do its work. The two-handed shotgun, when fully upgraded, can be quite the killing machine. And her iconic bow gun. Just put an explosive bolt into that and watch it go through hordes of enemies or a fierce foe that's standing in your way. Of course, I haven't forgotten about Ada's staple item that has been with her throughout the franchise, the hookshot. There's so many things you can do with Ada's hookshot. The first being reaching high places or far off distances. With Ada's iris contact lens, she can see where to hookshot. Need to get across a gap? Don't worry about it, the hookshot has your back. Or hookshot into a secret area may reveal a treasure in that location. There is another interesting way that the hookshot can be used, and that's in combat. Purchasing OG Ada's charm from the merchant and equipping it to your attaché case, Ada will be able to grapple hook enemy shields, making fights a lot easier for her to deal with. And if Ada staggers an enemy from afar, she can hookshot to them, dealing a devastating melee attack, brushing past other enemies or throwable weapons in her way. Ada goes to the same locations as Leon, with that being the village, the castle and the island. However, unlike OG Separate Ways, where she would go through the exact same path Leon would go, in the remake, Ada has her own unique places that she will travel through, whether it will be similar places as Leon went, but from a different angle, or with brand new places that Leon did not have access to in his campaign. We also get the return of two remarkable locations that were in OG RE4, but not in the main campaign of Remake. The first being the gondola section. In the original, the gondola was located in the village, and the player would have to take it while dealing with enemies as they would make their way to the barn to fight Chief Mendez. Separate Ways move the gondola to the island. While still fighting enemies on it, Ada will arrive at a heavily guarded security base in front of the radio tower that she needs to get access to. The other returning location for Ada's campaign is the laser room. Making her way through the comms facility, she will encounter the lasers twice. With the second time, she will need to dodge, escape and defeat a brand new boss, the test subject, in style. From this point, I will be going off script to talk about my personal thoughts of the Separate Ways story, returning assets and characters. I really enjoyed that they brought back assets from Resident Evil 3.5. 3.5 is a cancelled version of Resident Evil 4, where in the 3.5 trailer, Leon is being pursued by a ghostly hookman. In Chapter 1, Ada has a face-off against Black Robust Hunter. During this face-off, she is infected with the virus, and throughout her journey, she'll get chronic headaches, delusions, and fight shadowy figures of Black Robust Hunter. And it's really interesting that they brought this back for her campaign. It definitely adds a lot more depth to her story and the journey that she has embarked on. Ada eventually faces off against Black Robust Hunter for one final time, where it turns into U3. I think it's such an ingenious way of bringing back an iconic boss from the original. I really love Ada and Luis's dynamic in Remake Separate Ways. It's a lot more in-depth and more fulfilling for me. In the original, it was very much Luis wasn't going to give that horrible lady the plugger sample that she was trying to give to her evil boss. But in the remake, there's a lot more things out of their control for the reason why Ada does not get the plugger sample. Whether it be in Chapter 1, where she's literally fighting against Black Robust Hunter, or in chapter 2 where Luis is captured by Mendez, or when she tries to get to the house that Leon and Luis are trapped in but has to fight El Gigante. There's just a lot more hurdles and roadblocks in her way. Even when Luis finally gives her the sample, she cannot physically take it because it reacts badly to the virus in her, and it's just all this makes it a lot more fulfilling on why she cannot get the sample that easily. Another iconic returning character is the big bad of Resident Evil, and that is Wesker. I absolutely loved Wesker in Separate Ways, and I felt that they did a lot more to improve him from OG Separate Ways, which I'm gonna get into now. Wesker in Remake Separate Ways is a lot more hot-headed, aggressive. He's constantly breathing down Ada's neck, and he has no time for her incompetence in delivering the amber. He wants the amber, and I felt that OG RE4 Wesker was a lot more cool, calm and collected. He'd still get irritated, but he was a lot more calmer about things. But in Remake, Wesker's a lot more hot-headed. He wants his amber. He just wants Ada to get it done. He has no time for her incompetence, and I really enjoy it, and I think that they did Wesker amazingly, especially as a reintroduction to him for maybe brand new players who did not play the older games and have only just come into the series through the remakes. I also wanted to say that I really enjoyed Craig Bronowski's performance as Wesker. I thought he did really well, and I would personally love to see him return in the future. On a more negative note, I'm not the hugest fan of Krauser in RE4 Remake, and in the Separate Ways DLC, I felt that they didn't really use him loads, and I think that was a bit of a missed opportunity. I would have loved to seen at least one scene where Ada and Krauser are like talking together, and Krauser is enforcing the idea that Wesker does not trust her to build up some tension, but he really wasn't used, and I personally think that's a bit of a missed opportunity, and they could have done a bit more with Krauser in this DLC. My favourite boss fight in Separate Ways, and probably the whole of RE4 Remake, is definitely when Ada fights Lord Sadler. Everything down to the arena, the gothic orchestra music, and the challenge that he is on professional difficulty. It's just so fun to me, and I enjoy it so much, and it was definitely one of my favourite bosses in the DLC, and probably the whole game. I really enjoyed it. Of course, we need to talk about our leading man, Leon S. Kennedy. RE4 Remake is about Leon saving the president's daughter, Ashley Graham, but it's also to do with him coming to terms with his trauma, clearing out that trauma, confronting his trauma of Raccoon City, and Ada Wong has a huge part to play in that trauma. Ada, a secret agent in Resident Evil 2 Remake, manipulated and tricked Leon so she could acquire a sample of the G virus for her employer. Being manipulated and tricked, as well as Ada's quote-unquote death, definitely left a huge imprint in Leon's trauma with Raccoon City. So, you can imagine 6 years later on his mission, reuniting with Ada, he's not the happiest to see the woman who tricked and used him all those years ago. In Separate Ways' story, Ada takes a guardian angel role when it comes to Leon, whether it be in the village ringing the church bell to distract the villagers from attacking Leon, in the castle offering some important information on Ashley's whereabouts, or on the island where she saves both Ashley and Leon from the clutches of Sadler and his evil ritual. So the question is Ada using Leon again? In my opinion, yes, but not in the way Leon thinks. Ada is using Leon as a distraction so that her pathway to retrieving the amber goes with smooth sailing and no obstacles in her way. She does feel some guilt for what she did in RE2R, that's why she's taking on this guardianship role with offering advice and helping him a few times, but at the end of the day, it's Ada Wong. She is still gonna get her mission done no matter what. After her fight with Lord Sadler, Ada is knocked out and captured by him, where Leon later on will come and free her as the two join forces to defeat Sadler once and for all. While Leon fights the final boss, Sadler, us as Ada will go through a construction site maze full of the toughest enemies in the game to eventually get a rocket launcher. You may call it deja vu. Eventually reaching Leon, she'll toss him the rocket launcher, where he will deal the final blow to Sadler, ending the RE4 nightmare once and for all. So I just have to say that the construction site where we fight those hordes of enemies on professional difficulty is really, really hard. I died so many times that in the end I was just like, I'm literally running past through all of you. I had no ammo left because of Sadler. So if you're playing that part on professional difficulty, good luck. It is really, really hard, especially if you're low on ammo. The smoke is cleared from the battle, and Ada has done her job. She has retrieved the amber. Before her departure, our leading man has a few words for the lady in the red dress.
You coming?
I think we both know this is where we go our separate ways.
I see. Better get a move on.
Cute.
Until next time, Leon.
Separate Ways was such a fun roller coaster for me. They improved so much from the original and I really enjoyed it. Every time I get to play Ada Wong is such a special moment for me, and being able to play Separate Ways Remake recaptured how special and how wonderful Ada as a character means to me. I also want to talk about Ada Wong's voice actress for RE4 Remake, Lily Gao. At first, I wasn't the hugest fan of Lily Gao's portrayal as Ada, but after replaying the main campaign and Separate Ways quite a few times, I really enjoyed her performance. She brings something different to Ada, a lot more emotion, which we don't rarely get to see from Ada. So Lily Gao, you proved me wrong and you did amazingly, and I really enjoyed your performance. So thank you for playing this iconic super spy. After you beat Separate Ways, you're treated to a secret cutscene where it's found out that Ada has taken the amber and headed to a different direction, and she did not detonate all the bombs on the island. However, that's not going to foil Wesker's plans. He had a backup plan, and that was Krauser. So it turns out he's going to maybe harvest the amber from Krauser's corpse, and we're treated to a very iconic little teaser. Could it be Resident Evil 5 remake next, or could it be Code Veronica remake? Who knows? Separate Ways encourages replayability, whether it be playing in a stunning new outfit for Ada, or if you're trying to get that S+ rank on professional difficulty so you can unlock the cat ears for infinite ammo. For $9.99 you are getting quite the content package with Separate Ways, whether it be you just want to play Separate Ways because you're a fan of the original, or if you're looking to sink your teeth into RE4 Remake again, Separate Ways is the perfect excuse to do so. Thank you for watching. If you want to receive further updates from me, my Twitter/X is @Tenakura. I had so much fun making my first YouTube video and have a lot more videos planned for the future, but comment down below what you liked about Separate Ways or what you didn't like. But thank you so much for your time, and I can't wait to see you for the next one. Bye bye for now.